Okay, so I'm going to talk about some new casting that came out. Before I go any further, let me say one thing real quick. Isn't it hilarious that when these big studio, the Marvel or DC, they have big announcements. Then sometimes, like more often than not, Marvel, when they have a big announcement, DC will try to announce something big too. Like remember when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 1 first appeared? Not even after, like 2 seconds after the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had ended, they announced Gotham. And then today, the big yesterday, by the time of this recording, yesterday they announced the Batsuit and the Batmobile from DC. Later that night, we got the official casting for Gambit in X-Men Apocalypse, apparently. Now, at first, I didn't want to do a video on this because I didn't know if it was true, and then, yeah, it's been officially confirmed. Gambit has been casted for X-Men Apocalypse, and the casting is interesting, I'll say that. The person they have casted is Channing Tatum. You know, that guy from G.I. Joe and 21 Jump Street and Magic Mike. Oh boy. Now, let me say that I've always been optimistic about all actors playing these characters. I mean, a lot of people are still to this day very apprehensive about Ben Affleck playing Batman, and Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. And now with this, I'm very optimistic about it. Now, Channing Tatum is obviously a big name. However, having said that, though, the big thing is that this is an X-Men film. I really doubt that Gambit will be like a forefront. Well, he'll probably be a big character, but it won't be like Gambit in the X-Men. Remember, there's always been a lot of big names playing X-Men characters, and Gambit, I'm pretty sure, is going to be in here. Gambit's going to be in here as a good supporting role. Now, talking about Channing Tatum himself, I had a conversation it's actually kind of funny because a few months ago, they talked about Channing Tatum being rumored to be in talks for a Gambit film, and I was like, you're adorable, comic book resources. And I told this news to Deanna, Pop Culture Diva 42, and I talked about, oh, well, this is just kind of dumb, and she kind of changed my mind about it. She kind of explained a few reasons why I could go in with an open mind about Gambit, Channing Tatum playing Gambit. First off is that he's a very physical actor. Okay, that's a given. Gambit's a very physical character. Secondly, he's actually from... Tatum is actually was born and lived in New Orleans before he got his acting career off the ground, so I'm told. He is from New Orleans, and Gambit's from New Orleans. Okay, that works. The other thing is that apparently there's been a few minor interviews with Tatum already about this, and he's talked about he's very excited to be Gambit. And it never hurts to have an actor excited to play a comic book role. Let's face it, Channing Tatum is a very popular name. I mean, like him or hate him, you know him. You know Channing Tatum, and he's a marketable person, regardless of whether bad marketing or good marketing. Leave that up to you. So I'm not surprised that someone wanted him for a superhero movie. We saw him already in G.I. Joe. Granted, not the best way to go, but still, I can be optimistic. Even though I actually like 21 Jump Street, I actually thought it was kind of funny. And Gambit does have that kind of I wouldn't say dumb boy swagger, but definitely I think Tatum might be able to pull off Gambit's charm. I think also, if I'm right, I think Tatum might be younger than Taylor Kitsch. And it wouldn't hurt to have a younger Gambit. I'm just trying to imagine Tatum trying to pull off the French accent. I'm trying to imagine him pull off Mon ami and cher and just all the French words and all that. And I'm also wondering, what are they going to go? I just hope they go with this costume right here. Look, right here. You see this image I'm using? Yeah. Dear Bryan Singer, go with the costume that made him awesome. Give him the bow staff, give him the playing cards, give him all of that shit. Because I don't know if it was like it'd be interesting to see Channing Tatum with longer hair, or they might go with the '90s comics and the '90s cartoon and just have it the shortcut hair. Who knows? But yeah, I do want to be very optimistic about this, and I'm always willing to be benefit of the doubt. Give the benefit of the doubt to all the actors, all actors who play these characters in question. Because let's face it, this kind of all harkens back all the way back to Heath Ledger, when he was announced as the Joker, and no one had faith in him, and we all know how that went. So I've always been kind of a person who's pretty much said, yeah, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. And it's no different with Tatum. Who knows? Maybe he could really surprise us. And again, I don't think Gambit will be like the center star of this movie. He'll be more like a supporting role. And the other thing is that we don't know how much of Gambit is going to be in X-Men Apocalypse. For all we know, Cyclops could be it, because there's been rumors of a younger Jean Grey and Cyclops joining this new cast for X-Men Apocalypse. So he might be a supporting character, and for all we know, he could be in just one scene. Really, we could only see him for one scene, but from what Singer's always talked about how he's wanted to use Gambit here and there. So, you know what? Go ahead. So, again, I'm being optimistic, but yeah, I can only take my optimism so far. But I am, like I said, I am willing to give Channing Tatum the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, cautiously optimistic about, because let's face it, Gambit's one of my favorite X-Men. Please don't screw it over. So, once again, optimistic, and I really want to know, what do you guys think of Channing Tatum officially playing Gambit in X-Men Apocalypse? Do you guys like the idea? Do you guys hate the idea? I really want to know. This is probably one of the most interesting casts I've seen in a while, ever since, the announcement for the Wonder Woman cast and the Ben Affleck cast for Batman. So, yeah, really curious to hear your thoughts on this, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.